Let's look at the solutions for these questions now. A two-digit number is multiplied with the sum of the digits and the result is denoted by x. The same two-digit number is then reversed. That is, the position of the digits is interchanged and the resulting number is again multiplied with the sum of the digits. The product is denoted as y. If x plus y is equal to 396, how many such two-digit numbers are possible? Okay, let's look at it. First is the original number. Let the original number be 10a plus b, and this is multiplied by ab. This is multiplied with the sum of the digits. Sorry, 10a plus b is multiplied by a plus b, and this is x. Okay, then the digits are reversed, so we get 10b plus a into a plus b, and this is equal to y. Now, if I do x plus y, can you see a plus b is common? So that comes out, and this bracket will give me 11a plus 11b. This is equal to x plus y. We were told x plus y is equal to 396, so we place that there. And even from this bracket, I can take out 11 outside. 11 into a plus b into a plus b is equal to 396. Once I cancel off the 11, I'm left with 36. So a plus b, the two singular digits, that should be equal to 6. We don't care for the case of minus 6 because these are digits. So if a and b add up to 6, the possible cases are going to be 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, and 5, 1. These 5 cases. We will not have a case of 6, 0 because when you reverse it, it will no longer be a two-digit number. So the answer to the question is option D, 5. Next, if the 8-digit number n, blah, 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 is divisible by 18, find the number of possible values of n. If a number is divisible by 18, it is divisible by 2 and it is divisible by 9. For it to be divisible by 2, q is even. Q is even. And let us look at the sum of the digits of the numbers that we have right now. 9 and 9 and 9. So sum of the digits is 27 plus p plus q has to be a multiple of 9. Has to be a multiple of 9. So let's try and fit in some values where p and q are digits and q is even. Let's try to fit in some values where this is possible. If q was 0, then p can be 0. Or if q is 0, p can be 9. Both these cases are possible. If q was 2, p can only be 7. If q was 4, p can only be 5. If q was 6, p can only be 3. And if q was 8, p can only be 1. So altogether, we get 6 cases, which is the answer here. Next question. A natural number has 12 factors. If the reciprocal of each factor is a terminating decimal, then how many values can n assume? This is a question based on definition. Hopefully, you know terminating decimal numbers are only possible if the denominator contains some power of 2 or some power of 5. That is the only possibility. Okay. If a number has 12 factors, it could either be a prime number raised to the power 11 or some prime number raised to the power 2 into some other prime number raised to the power 3, or I can't take any other case because it can only the prime numbers involved can only be 2 or 5. Otherwise we will not get a terminating decimal number. These are the only 2 cases I have to check. So from this I get 2 cases: 2 raised to the power 11 or 5 raised to the power 11. In both these, every factor will be a terminating decimal number. Here I will get, so 1 number possible, 2 number possible. Here what will I get? 2 square into 5 cube or 5 square into 2 cube. So 3 into 4. Yes, this is possible. Is there any other setup which can potentially be made here? Okay. How many values can n assume? N has 12 factors. So something raised to the power 11. Oh, this could also happen this way. So p raised to the power a into 5 into p raised to the power b raised to the power 1. 6 into 2 also can be happening for 12. So from here I will get this case 2 raised to the power 5 into 5 raised to the power 1 and 5 raised to the power 5 into 2 raised to the power 1. These are all distinct numbers. These are all distinct numbers. How many different values can n assume? Answer is 6. Next question. How many factors of 43200 are multiples of 24 but not of 144? Now, the interesting thing to note here is 144 itself is a multiple of 24. 144 is 24 into 6. So the way we should go about doing it is find out all the factors that are multiples of 24, find out all the factors that are multiple of 144, find out the difference. Our work will be done. But of course, the first step has to be prime factorize this expression. So this is 432. 432 is 48 into 9 now. So I'll break this down as 48 into 9 into 100. So 2 square and 2 raised to the power 4. So this gives me 2 raised to the power 6. 3 and 3. So 3 raised to the power 3 and 5 raised to the power 2. This should be enough. 2 raised to the power 4 and 3. 3 square. Yes. 43200 prime factorization form will be this. Now, if I'm looking for factors that are multiples of 24, I need 2 cube and I need 3 raised to the power 1. So cases would be 2 raised to the power 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Powers of 3 would be 1 or 2 or 3, and powers of 5 are unconstrained 0 or 1 or 2. So how many cases? 4 into 3 into 3. We have 36 factors that are multiples of 24. 36 factors that are multiples of 24. Let us now find out factors that are multiples of 144. This is 16 into 9. So 2 raised to the power 4 and 3 raised to the power 2. So if I'm looking at multiples of 144, that will be given by 2 raised to the power 4 or 5 or 6. Powers of 3 will be 2 or 3. Powers of 5 are unconstrained, so 0, 1 or 2. So here we get 3 into 2 into 3. I get 18 such factors. So from the multiples of 24, if I remove multiples of 144, I will be left with 18 numbers. And that is the answer in this case. Next question. A natural number has 24 factors. A natural number n has 24 factors. If x of these are perfect cubes, then which of the following cannot be the value of x? Okay, if a number has 24 factors, it could either be a prime number raised to the power 23, or it could be of the form some prime number raised to the power 11 into some other prime number raised to the power 1. It could also be of the form some prime number raised to the power 5 into some prime number raised to the power 6. So 3. It could also be of this form. So I've got 12 into 2 done, 6 into 4 done, 8 into 3 is left. So some prime number raised to the power 7 into some prime number raised to the power 2. Okay. So 6 into 4. All 2 wala cases are done. I could also have a case. This can be broken down into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 also. No? So 4 wala cases to baad mein jayega. First, it will be some prime number raised to the power 1 into some prime number raised to the power 1 into some other prime number raised to the power 6. Sorry, not 6, 5. I could also have it this way. So 6 I've gotten, 4 if I need. Let's say 2 into 4 into 3 would also work. No? So some prime number raised to the power 1 into some prime number raised to the power 2 into some prime number raised to the power 3. This will also potentially work. How do I? Basically, this is turning into a nightmare. I have to do this. First, 24 can be written as 24 into 1. In how many ways can it be written as product of two numbers? Two numbers. So I have 1 into 24 done. So 2 into 12 and 3 into 8 and 4 into 6. We got these three ways and we got these three potentialities. Now I have to identify in how many ways can 24 be written as product of three numbers. Okay. So first will be 2 into 2 is taken out. 12 I have to take care of. So 2 into 2 into 6. Then 2 into 3 into 4. Any more ways? If I increase this, 3 into 3 into 3 is 27. These are the only two ways. Aha, I have covered exhaustive number of cases. And the final case, in how many ways can 24 be written as product of four numbers? It will simply be 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. This is the only possibility. So we'll have prime number A raised to the power 1 into prime B raised to the power 1 into prime C raised to the power 1 into prime D raised to the power 2. These are exhaustive number of cases. So let's see how many perfect cube factors we have here. Then which of the if X of these are perfect cubes. So in each of these cases, we simply have to identify how many perfect cube factors we can have. P can have powers from 0, 3, 6, 9, blah, 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 up until 21. Or we will have 8 factors in this case. 8 factors would be perfect cubes. So option B is eliminated. Here we will have prime A can have powers 0 or 3 or 6 or 9. Prime B will only have power of 0 acceptable. So we get 4 factors which are perfect cubes here. So this is gone. And here, what do we get? Prime raised to the power A, 0 or 3. Prime B, 0 or 3. Again, we get 4 factors which are cubes here. 4 was anyway gone. Here, what will we get? Prime raised to the power A, 0 or 3 or 6 into prime B raised to the power 0. Here we get 3 factors which are perfect cubes, but 3 is not present within option, so doesn't help. Here we will get prime A raised to the power 0 only, prime B raised to the power 0 only, prime C raised to the power how much? 0 or 3. 0 or 3. So we'll get 2 factors here, which are perfect cubes. And now I can eliminate A also. D is not possible. 3 options have been eliminated. So we will never have 6 of them as perfect cubes. In case you want to complete the cycle and look at all the potential number of perfect cube factors, here also you can see prime A raised to the power 0 will work. Prime B raised to the power 0 will work. Prime C raised to the power 0 or 3 will work. So there are 2 factors here that are perfect cubes. And in the last one, all of them will just need power 0 for it to be a perfect cube. So just 1 factor. You can potentially have 8 factors that are cubes, or 4 factors, or 3 factors, or 2 factors, or 1 factor that are perfect cube. But you will never have a case in which 6 factors are perfect cubes. Answer to this question is option D, 6. If you pay attention, 3 questions within this sheet have answer as 6. Here, and question 3 and question 2. So 6 was a good number for this sheet. That will be all for this practice or number system bytes. Okay, bye.